talk trends?
Yeah, let's talk trends. I'm always down for talking some trends.
I just wanted to keep saying hello, aloe. I'm not good at accents as much as I aspire to be good. I can't do any accent except for maybe like a New Jersey one.
Oh, come on.
It's not, yeah, but that's more of
Jessica,
like
that's a really good one.
That's a vibe, not necessarily an accent. This is The Naturalist. In every episode, we're covering the products, ideas, and trends that are shaping the CPG industry.
Or that we just really like.
Because, we have so many cool companies are coming to Newtopia Now, and you've been spending a ton of time looking through those companies, identifying the trends. We have our big Newtopia Now and market overview issue of Natural Foods Merchandiser coming out. When will that be out?
That should be out, I think, at the end of July, early August. So once it comes out, there'll be plenty of time to study the pages before Newtopia Now. Learn some of those product launches. We've got 36 featured products in the magazine. And of course, there are many, many more.
And what I really like about the companies is there's a lot of totally new companies, ones that I have not seen before. We have a really high percentage of brands that are exhibiting at Newtopia Now for not just at Newtopia Now for the first time, but at any trade show for the first time. So really using Newtopia as the launch pad to enter into the market. So companies that I haven't heard of or seen before that look really incredible, but then also some of our faves, some of our good old standbys. So I tell you, I was talking to someone, great person the other day who will be at NBJ Summit speaking on one of our panels, and I called his company a legacy company, which I think is like a compliment. Like,
right, absolutely.
He was like, "Don't you ever say legacy." I'm like,
why?
Okay.
I think that's such a compliment.
He thought there was like a negative connotation, like legacy means stale but no. And I think some of the legacy companies who are coming to Newtopia show that it does not mean stale. They're introducing really cool, innovative products. His company certainly among them. If he ever listens to this podcast, he'll know exactly who I'm talking about. But
you'll tell me later, right?
I will. So do you want to talk about food and beverage, or do you want to let's talk about food and beverage today.
Sure. So one thing that I think is pretty exciting is probiotics, right? Well, and this is actually completely a crossover because this is food and beverage. This is also supplements, obviously. Let's talk about probiotics for a second. They're blowing up, and we're going to see a ton of products with probiotics at the show and a lot of variety too, which I think is cool. Obviously like the typical vinegar, gut shot kind of thing. Pickle juice, we love coming back. The beet kvass. I love kvass so much. I wish it were, drink a glass of it a day instead of a shot glass of it.
So what is that? If people don't know what that is, what is that?
So it's fermented beet juice and with water and salt, and that's it. So it's just really rich in probiotics. It's raw. It's so tasty. But I'm kind of a salty girl. I like that kind of stuff.
I know. We share a love for salty, briny things. But I definitely do like all of the innovation in fermented foods and beverages as a delivery system for probiotics. This is not new, but I do think that the angle around this is kind of an overall wellness push. It's gut health, but it's also, can tie to energy and then therefore how you sleep. And we have someone on our team actually who has been making these homemade yogurts with the whole purpose of really improving his sleep. So I think it's interesting that consumers are tying gut health to all these different parts of their lives and then turning to these really delicious food products to get that delivery of probiotics. And then we're also seeing it in supplements, and we have some great supplement companies at Newtopia Now as well, exhibiting with probiotics, prebiotics, postbiotics, and definitely that combination of trying to get not just pro but also pre into foods and beverages and supplements is another part of that movement.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I want to give a shout out because Meredith Kaufman did an unboxed little while ago about probiotic products at Newtopia Now. And I think there were 12 products in there, and there was a huge range, again, supplements, all kinds of different things, but I'd never seen this before. It's called Brine Time. It's jicama. So it's a
I know. I haven't seen that either.
I cannot wait to try that. It's called Jicama Jamaica in Jamaica. It sounds so good. So,
yeah. I was reading that description of that product this morning too. And lots of these like really artisanal companies with pretty basic, but still really beautiful packaging. And it's definitely reminiscent of like home canning and home pickling and jarring, but bringing that to the market in a really fun, with fun branding and different positioning. But I don't think I've ever been so excited about jicama.
Have you ever done home canning or pickling?
Well, no, this is another thing. So one of my many little quirks is
I think I know what you're going to say, and then I'm going to tell you something that's good.
Botulism fears.
Yes.
Yeah, don't trust myself with that. Even though I'm probably like the best person to be home canning because I am so scared of everything, essentially. But no, I have not. Is what you're going to tell me? I should buy these products. I will continue buying these products, not making my own.
No, I just was going to tell you because I grew up with my parents canning a ton. I mean, they did everything from jams to canned vegetables. I mean, tons. But I did it myself a couple of years ago when we had a bumper tomato crop. Beautiful jars of delicious tomato. I'm too scared to eat them.
Just look at them.
They've been in my garage for 3 years, and I'm too scared to eat them because I'm afraid I might have done it wrong.
At least put them on display. Come on. Be like, I did that. I will never consume that, but I did that.
You know what's funny is I've given them away to people as gifts. I'm not afraid of poisoning people, but...
Oh, wow. Your true colors are really coming out in this episode.
Can't wait for the holidays. You know what you're getting.
Okay, fermentation, probiotics, big trend.
Check.
Adrienne and I are going to do a kraut tasting one day in the near future. We should do like kraut and vegan brats. That would be fun.
So fun. Let's do that. I'm in.
Okay. I also wanted to talk about I'm going to sort of marry two trends that are basically polar opposites, but it's fine.
Love it.
So just bear with me.
That's what we do here at The Naturalist.
But there's a lot of clean label in plant-based, especially in the milk alternative, the dairy alternatives, and then a lot of clean label in the animal protein category. So I actually think the trend is clean label, which again, not anything new, but to see it happening across all of these different kind of trending areas and the common denominator being just few ingredients and making the most of those ingredients, getting all the potential uses out of it, all of the different types of milks. What are some of the cool milks that we have that you featured in NFM?
Well, of course, you mentioned plant milk. We've got Pecana. That's a really cool product. And they've just gone completely organic. So all of their line is transitioning to organic or has transitioned to organic. Milk is doing great things with just super simple ingredients. They have an unsweetened soy milk. The Pecana has an unsweetened version, which I also love because I love unsweetened plant milks. And then, shifting to dairy, there's a product that Meredith is super excited about. It's called Jubilees. It's an organic chocolate chip cookie milk. And the idea is that it's kind of fortified with nutrients for kids. It's got lots of vitamin D, vitamin C, 8 grams of protein. And it uses cocoa, carrot, and cookie flavoring. So it's infused with carrot juice, which I think is kind of interesting. And it's shelf stable. And I was actually just going to pull a piece of data here that I had from the market overview, which I thought was pretty interesting. If I can
give us some data, talk data to us.
You just give me 1 second. I gotta find it.
I do want to say that I have I love Malk products. Just a lot of things about it. I think it's super high quality. I love the mouthfeel and the texture and all the different uses of it. I literally have that soy Malk in my refrigerator, and it's become my go-to. I also like the size of it because I'm able to consume it all, and I don't know if that was intentional or why they made that packaging the way they did, but there's there's really something about it that's just doing it for me right now. So good job, Malk. I haven't tried pecan. I want to.
Okay, wait, I've got a really interesting data point. I was looking for it in the market overview that's coming out in NFM. It's animal protein. So animal proteins are driving significant momentum in food and beverage. Meat, fish, and poultry sales saw huge growth in 2024, 13.2%. And then the second highest was dairy at almost 10%. So those categories are hot.
Yeah, they are hot. And I talked about that too in State of Natural. And it's pretty impressive that dairy and meat products, animal proteins are driving so much of the food and beverage industry growth. And that there's still a lot of interesting, innovative things happening in plant-based too. So there's kind of something for everyone. But I do like that product smoke show that we featured that'll be in, and I believe it's going to be in the Regenerate neighborhood, I think.
Yeah.
So I like this because I do, when I'm at work, I'm always like, I always grab a beef stick of sorts to satiate me, but it's made with 100% grass-fed and finished beef. It has 8 grams of protein, and it's this it has these really nice seasonings in it, non-GMO project verified. It has lots of things, but Meredith on our Sweets and Snacks episode, Snacks and Sweets and Snacks episode, said that there was jerky everywhere. So this is just one of these natural products industry trends that is definitely infiltrating mainstream, but it's funny because it probably started super mainstream, right? With what are those? Snap into a Slim Jim?
Yeah.
And then got cleaned up, and now these cleaner versions are entering mainstream. So I need to go peruse a 7-Eleven and see what their beef jerky lineup looks like these days. I bet it looks a lot different from when I used to.
And I think Slim Jim, didn't Meredith say that Slim Jim had a more natural version now? I don't know if it's under the same branding or a different brand, but and that was their fastest growing product. So I
want to see
really
you do your best Snap into a Slim Jim impersonation.
What else? I don't know. Maybe later.
Okay.
I feel like I need props. Speaking of dairy and protein, did you see that product from Smearcase?
I didn't see that one.
This is exciting. So it's Froco. No, is it Froco? It's Froco. It's basically cottage cheese ice cream. It is cottage cheese ice cream.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I have not tried it yet, but I feel like a lot of people have been talking about that because cottage cheese is really trending right now, high protein. And then we've had this whole discussion around higher protein desserts. Do we need it? What's going on with that? But people just seem to really love this product and what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty amazing. So it comes in a little pint, like a typical ice cream pint, but each pint has got 39 grams of protein. And I think this is for the strawberry flavor. I think another one has 40 grams. And then I love the fact that they just use real cane sugar to sweeten it, no sugar alcohols. And so it's feels really indulgent, but 39 grams of protein. That's crazy. I cannot wait to try that.
Then you'll be ready to do the Snap into a Slim Jim after all that. Okay, I'll let it go now.
You should do that.
I just did. That was my end. Yeah, I really like that product. Thanks for breaking it down for me because I've been wondering what all the fuss is about. And now we know, right?
Well, and I actually tried to order some because I was so curious and it was sold out. I mean, I think it's a pretty small company brand out of New York, but it was sold out. So I cannot wait to try it at the show.
I'm excited for that too. Yeah. And we definitely are seeing across the board quite a bit of protein, packing in the protein in all different forms. We'll talk about that more when we go through some of our supplement trends. But again, protein cross categories is still super relevant. As are globally inspired flavors. We have so many great entrepreneurs that bring in their heritage, and whether that's certain types of ingredients or processing or traditions. And we're particularly seeing it show up in the snacking category. So I really like to see all of these multicultural snacking products. I also think that's a really great way in for consumers who are like, oh, I maybe don't know how to use a certain ingredient, but if I just have it in a convenient snack, it might expose them to different flavors and ideas and types of products. So I think it's fun to see it in snacking in particular.
Yeah, and we talked about one of these brands, Kaya Snacks, and that's a great example. And she talked about how her Bombay spice potato chips were kind of a gateway food for her husband, who was never a fan of Indian food, and she was kind of trying to like introduce him little by little. And you can definitely hear about this product and a lot of the other great globally inspired products in the episode that we did a couple weeks ago on globally inspired products at Newtopia Now. But yeah, I'm excited. There are lots of cool things on the horizon.
You know what else I'm excited about? We talked about this with a couple of the products, the chocolate chip cookie milk, and then even the Froco product. But I do like this, like, return to some of these more kind of indulgent products, but blending pleasure and health. And I think I don't know what we've called this in the past, but tracking this like idea that people just want to feel comforted and nourished. And that can mean a couple different things. It can mean like, kind of hearkening back to some of the products that they loved when they were kids, or some of these flavors that are a little bit more nostalgic, but now it is that functional nostalgia piece. We talked about this also when we did our Jello tasting on that
Gelatin.
episode. Yeah. And that was really fun because there's a functional product that reminded us of something from when we were kids. But I really like that because I think there is a place for it. And I actually think now, especially, consumers are craving that. Are you on board or what?
I'm on board. And I actually think that you could make an argument that all of these simple ingredient back to basic products are also embracing that, because while they may not have specifically functional ingredients added to them, they're definitely this idea of like indulgent, cherishing wellness or nourishment. Or, I mean, I would say like, just among the Newtopia products, there's a bone broth. Bone broth, how, classic can you get? There's a bone broth. There's a really wonderful like sherry vinegar, so you're looking at these really kind of basic products, but just done really well and really cleanly. And I think in some ways you can tie that to that idea of, maybe not functional add-ins, but that function of real food and real nourishment.
Yeah.
Does that argument work?
It does. I'm like, yes, I'm picking up what you're putting down, but I think we are seeing that transformation across all of the different categories, all of the different pantry items, whether that be an indulgent product or just a pantry staple. I really like that American Vinegar Works California Sherry Vinegar example, because when you look at how they describe that, it's slow fermented and raw and small batch. And again, this artisanal movement that continues to be a subcategory within the natural product space that's just doing things more intentionally and still slowing down with production and scaling back with production in order to create something that you truly believe, that these producers truly believe is better for people and better for planet. So I think that takes many forms. And in some ways, it's kind of getting back to basics with the industry. And I like how Newtopia does that too. Some of the things that I see us getting super excited about are just like these basic products that are doing things the right way and telling that story really clearly. There's no denying what this product is or how it was made. And I like that clarity and messaging.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I also think Newtopia Now, just as an event, has this kind of, I'm not going to call it basic, but it's like almost an analog quality, because it's all about in-person connecting. And so you're not going to find like scan the QR code or, it's just, let's actually talk about this in person. I mean, you might find QR codes to scan, and that's fine, but it just feels like a very analog experience. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but like between the one-on-one sit downs, just the different opportunities for retailers and brands to mingle and to talk and to get to know each other. That's what makes it feel so special, is that kind of back to basics human connection.
I really love that. I completely agree. And it's reflected in a lot of the products. A couple others kind of that show this back to basic. I like this, this cacao, pure whole cacao fruit snacking product. I think that's an interesting one, because with what's going on with cacao and cocoa prices, it's interesting to see these companies that, this product is it's not a low price point, but it's a super high quality product, and they're really upcycled, maintaining their commitment to, upcycled, maintaining their commitment to transparent sourcing, traceable sourcing, and really saying this is a premium product, and there's a reason for that because it's really going to support the entire supply chain. I've heard more and more people too talking about how they're snacking on the cacao fruit and finding new uses for it. So I think there's more consumer awareness there.
Yeah, and that was from Coco Polo. Did you mention that?
I did not. Thank you.
Yeah, Coco Polo. Let's take a second and talk about tallow.
Let's talk
back to basics. Classic things. I mean, tallow is so Little House on the Prairie. I love it.
And tallow, I haven't seen tallow potato chips much. I think they're out there, but Beefy's own sour cream and onion beef tallow potato chips. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Well, we had, I can't remember the brand offhand, but we had a tallow French fry, frozen French fry in the Nexties, and they were insane. They were so good. My daughter still asks, can you get any more of those tallow fries? I'll have to look up the brand and actually get some. Yes. But yes,
I
beef
did not
tallow.
try those. I'm jealous. But let's also talk about the sour cream and onion flavoring on this, because I love sour cream and onion, and like it can be really, those ingredients are concerning in a conventional product. Yeah. And in this product, it looks, so not only does it have the tallow, but it's using, what is it? It's just like sour cream, dill, and buttermilk, I think.
Yeah.
Sour cream, onion, and buttermilk.
Sounds delicious.
I left out a key ingredient in sour cream and onion. I'm like, so what's in sour cream and onion anyways? I shouldn't need notes for that one, right?
It was perfect.
But it's not normally just sour cream and onion is my point.
Yes, it usually has lots of unpronounced. Well, see, I don't eat sour cream and onion because I'm allergic to onions.
Oh.
But back in the day when I did, I remember seeing that the ingredients were horrible.
Yeah, they're bad. But it should just be sour cream and onion.
Yes.
Yes. So that represents a lot of the different trends we talked about. Animal products, tallow, back to basics. Why do you think tallow is trending so much?
God, I don't know. I mean, I think obviously it has. I mean, we've seen it trending in personal care and beauty. In food, I think it is that like protein, meat products, good sourcing for meat, collagen. I'm sure it has collagen in it, right? Tallow? Or is it just fat? Yeah, I don't know. I do know that a couple years ago when I was watching British Bake Off and they were making those hot water crust pies, I went and bought beef tallow, and it wasn't hard. It was kind of hard to find. I had to go to a couple different stores. I finally got some. It was fantastic. My pie came out wonderful. It was a lot of work. Never make it again. But now you can find beef tallow just about any old place.
Yeah, it's everywhere. You're always a trailblazer, though. So that would be a fun episode to do something about, like ingredients or products that we used to not be able to find. And now I'd like to do that about some restaurant dishes too.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
That would be fun. What about, I don't necessarily want to call this a trend because we're seeing so much overall in healthier beverages, but you did feature, and I'd love to know more about this Perennial Spirits Kernza vodka. So we talk so much about NA drinks and all the innovation happening there, but there is still this really great cleaning up of the spirits industry with cleaner, pure ingredients, and still saying this product, even though many consumers are shifting away from alcohol, or consumers are consuming less, there's still a lot of people who drink spirits and who drink alcohol, and to have better options for them, I believe, is really important because it still is a key consumer segment.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. I mean, we've talked about Kernza, obviously Patagonia put it in its beer. We had the Kodiak cakes winning with the Kernza pancake and waffle mix at the Nexties this year. So seeing more and more products open up the market for Kernza, because obviously as the demand increases, hopefully we'll see the Kernza market increase as well. But I'm really excited about this because it just shows that by putting intention into the products that you are making, you can come up with really interesting, sustainable products that have open a lot of possibilities. I will say that I did just find out today, I know the version I sent you didn't have the price point, and I did just find out the price point today, and it's pretty high. But I'm not surprised. I mean, this is a really artisanal, very, very special crafted vodka made out of a really special perennial grain. So I'd pay it.
I think premium products still have a place, and we see a couple of those on this list, and they're probably not the products that you're going to buy every day, but they are the products that will be a special treat and that you may buy for a gift if you're not giving a gift of potentially, harmful canned tomatoes. But if you
I knew you were going there.
Yeah. So I like that we're seeing a push towards more accessibility in a lot of the products that we're featuring, but we're also seeing some of those splurges, and there's a reason for it. I also liked this product, and this is a bit of a splurge too, but for a different reason. It's a highly functional product that matcha brain gains. And I wanted to call this one out because it's marrying of these two kind of functional ingredients. Matcha, I guess you could call a functional ingredient, but ceremonial grade matcha, which is packed with antioxidants and has a range of health benefits tied to it. But then malama, is that how you say the?
I always say malama, but maybe it's malama.
Maybe it's malama.
Yeah.
I don't know. Malama mushrooms has expanded into this, and they're incorporating lion's mane into a matcha product. So more blending of these functional ingredients. There's a lot of matcha drinkers out there, and maybe giving them a nice entry point into incorporating more mushrooms, functional mushrooms, into their daily wellness regimen. So this is a really beautiful product that's also USDA organic.
Yeah, and I love this brand. They won a Nexty, I want to say, in 2024 for a tincture that they had. And they're based in Hawaii. They have incredibly sustainable practices. Just a really cool brand doing, scaling up slowly and doing some really neat things. So it's fun to see them kind of move into the beverage area with this product.
Yeah. So many good products.
I can't wait.
Any others we want to give a shout out to before we wrap up?
Well, I don't want to, got to read the magazine. What can I say? So I don't want to give too many spoiler alerts.
Yeah, we had quite a few spoilers, but we got to show them all these companies some love because they're pretty great. We can't wait to see all of them and so many more throughout the 3 neighborhoods of Newtopia: Thrive, Regenerate, and Glow, which will feature innovations across categories. These were just some of our favorites, and it's really fun to see a lot of the trends we've been looking at come to life at Newtopia. So can't wait to see all these brands in Denver.
Yes. And please rate and subscribe to The Naturalist.